Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Bah! That's right, everybody. It's time for your economic doom and gloom report. The banks are crashing. We have 3 banks. Not 1, not 2, but 3 in China, Japan, and the United States. That's right. This news brought to you by a dork, just a dude with a bro hawk and a dream. Now let's enter the ninja. Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you are doing great. Got lots of notes for you. We got lots of banking crashes. Take your money out of the bank. Just joking, that's clickbait. But it's actually not. See, the banks are actually crashing for multiple reasons, and one of the reasons is because people are taking their money out of the bank. Now, I still have money in the bank, I'm not gonna lie, because I still have to do business. I have to live life. I gotta pay bills. It's sort of weird to walk up, to your electric bill and go, I got all these pennies. It doesn't work like that. So I've got multiple banks, okay? I stay under the FDIC number and I got a lot of banks. Okay, I'm being honest here. Okay, it's not clickbait, but it is. It actually is. The algo is feeding that title everywhere because it's actually a big deal. People are actually in trouble. We are actually crashing. Weird. But I'm not going to sit around and take it like an idiot. I'm going to actually use it to my advantage, and that's what I expect all of you to do. All right? Got to enjoy a good old-fashioned barn burner economic collapse brought to you by Joe Borgen. All right, here we go. Sorry, Jeff Borgen. I get his name wrong all the time. He's our president. You'd think I'd get that right. All right, 3 stories, 3 banks, 3 countries. It's a global thing. Ransomware catastrophe at Fidelity National Financial causes panic with homeowners and buyers. Panic. It's not, those aren't my words. They're from the news. It says here, where's this from? Bloomberg. Last Tuesday, Fidelity National Financial, or FNF, real estate services company that bills itself as the leading provider of title insurance and escrow services and North America's largest title insurance company. That's a really bad branding. You should be like, we are the most screwed right now when it comes to insurance and title services. That's probably the better thing, but whatever. Announced it had experienced a cyber attack. Says since then, homeowners, now these other 2 banks, just, they're not like in cyber attack, ransomware things. They're actually really like imploding. But this is important to go over too, okay? So it's going to get juicier as the video goes on. Since then, homeowners who have mortgages and prospective buyers who are purchasing properties with FNF or one of its many subsidiaries have been left confused and concerned. How do you feel right now? You can't access your money and you can't buy a house. Well, I'm confused and concerned. I bet you are. Or one of its many subsidiaries, not knowing exactly what is happening or what to do. Oh, stand by, I need some coffee. Now I'm going to be honest with you, the coffee sucks today. But it doesn't stop me. All right, here we go. Here we go. The woman who asked to remain anonymous said, it's because she's going to lose her job if they find out, said she has been trying to call IPX. Oh, this is just a customer. 1031, but has not been able to talk to anyone there. Ooh, bad news. 1031 exchanges. They're on it's a timed thing. Hopefully you can get it done. When TechCrunch called a number for an employee at IPX 1031, that woman had been calling a voicemail that said Fidelity National Financial is still experiencing a system-wide outage. We do not have access to send or receive email or access to any system. We appreciate your patience. You know what's interesting? There seems to be darn cyber attacks going on all over the world right now in these banks. I got a feeling it's because they're actually crashing and they want to blame someone else. Okay, it's actually the truth. Just don't tell anyone. It's so hard to be all sad and bummed about this. I'm going to be honest with you. How many of you have been with this channel for like at least 3 years? I mean, it's like 3.5 years old. I'm 3.5. It's fun because, we've all been getting ready and crash doesn't happen overnight. The economy's been crashing ever since the start of the channel. It's actually been crashing since 2019, September of 2019, very important date. But I tell you this because, you've been getting ready, and like every single month that goes by, you've got more money in the bank, more gold, some food preps, you got some water filters, cool, all that stuff. But you're like, I got more money. My credit score is better. I'm chomping at the bit. Yeah, I'm listening to all my family and friends are all morons. I mean, seriously, how many of you guys try and tell family and friends or coworkers about what's going on in the world? Like, hey, the banks are crashing. You're an idiot. That's what they say, right? You're a doom and gloomer. Well, actually, the banks were crashing as early as 2005 before the Great Recession. It took 3 years. That's weird. We're at 3 years now. Wait a minute. It's like, this is it. No. The FDIC is actually insolvent. They admitted it. A leaked tape came out and they said the banking crisis is so big that if anyone knows, the banks are full on collapsing. Whew. All right, let me see here. Let's just move on to the next story. I'm getting bored of that one. Cyber collapse, good for you, Fidelity National. All right, one bank exits the world systemically important as JP Morgan Chase again required to have top capital. That's the dumbest title I've ever heard. I'm going to read it again word for word. It's not even a complete sentence. It's not a full title. And it has almost zero clickbait in it. I'm going to read it again. One bank exits the world's systemically important as JP Morgan Chase again required to have top capital. Whew. This is by Steve Goldstein. Hey, Steve. I didn't even pass high school, but that's a pretty bad title. It says here, Italy's UniCredit is no longer among the world's globally systemically important banks. These banks known colloquially, oh, Jesus, Steve used some big words. Like I said, I didn't pass high school, so the title wasn't that great, but man, congratulations on using the big words. Co-weekly, I'm not even gonna try. As the too big to fail banks are required to hold more capital than other institutions. The list is maintained by the Financial Stability Board after consultations with national authorities as well as the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, and the 2023 list was released on Monday. The banks on the list are required to have higher capital buffers, minimum levels of total loss absorbing capacity, group-wide resolution planning, and have higher supervisory expectations. They should add to that, they probably need a bunch of safe spaces too, just in case their banking employees, before they get fired, they figure it out, like the Citigroup people, they have a place to go to feel safe. Sorry, I digress. UniCredit fell off bucket one. How do you like that? All right, banks, we're gonna categorize this all right now. You guys are awesome, primo status, you're bucket one. You guys suck, you're bucket two. It's like, couldn't have came up with a better name? Everyone in the military, you guys know what I'm talking about. We're gonna be, what are we doing today? We're gonna go shooting at the target range, and then we're gonna go get lunch. Well, what are we gonna call it? Operation Thunderstrike. All right, copy. That's badass. But seriously, the banks, you should have been in the military. You'd get a lot better, all right, we're gonna name you Raging Bull 1. You are Crapping Donkey 2. That's what you should be, but whatever. Says here, so UniCredit fell off of bucket 1. In the least demanding of the GSIB's, Credit Suisse also is off the list, having been acquired by UBS. They're in trouble too. Man, it's great. All the banks are crashing. Bank of Communications, well, that's a real nice bank. We're the Bank of Communications. We're going to communicate. Are you going to communicate clearly? Well, we didn't say that, but we're going to communicate. Are you crashing? What does that mean? Bank of Communications, or BOCOM, is on the list for the first time. No bank has ascended to the level of bucket 5. How do you get there? Which requires the most capital. Well, that's weird. So that means none of the banks have the most capital. How do you, that's, what kind of oxymoron? No bank has ascended to the level of bucket 5. Man, I want to go to bucket 5. Well, how do I get there? You have to have the most capital. Well, there's no banks with the most capital. How do you can't make this crap up. I'm just wondering if, like, right now, JP Morgan sitting back, going, hey, how much we got in assets? Well, we got like $100 gazillion and 3 cents. Ah, crap. We don't have the most. What do you mean? Well, the bank number 2 down the road, Bank of America, has got the exact same amount. To the penny? Yeah, to the penny. So we don't get to go to bucket 5. I'm not joking. This is insanity. But this is why banks crash. I don't know if you know this. They changed words and names. Oh, we're not doing any of those ninja loans now. They're samurai mortgages. What do you mean what do you mean? Those are the same thing. You're like 0 down and you could pay different options and all that kind of stuff. No, not pay options. They're different types of payments. Like, it's insanity. I mean, we even have Germany collapsing right now. Their economy's crashing. It really is. They say it like we're in crisis. Well, they were in crisis in mid-2005, and then that took down the Eurozone a little bit, but really reverberated over to our mortgage-backed securities. Oh, crap, that's right. Our mortgage-backed securities are in crisis mode again because Fannie Mae, or was it Freddie Mac? I think it's Freddie Mac, has now put all new loans that they're buying on review because they're finding that a bunch of banks lied to them and sold them paper that wasn't really good credit. I'm sorry, I'm in one of those moods today. I'm having some serious ninja mood swings. The point being is that these banks are in trouble. All right, whatever. China, let's move on to China because must be going through puberty right now. China's real estate crisis has helped punch a $37 billion hole in the balance sheet of one of the country's largest shadow banks. Those things exist? I mean, I got like watch. Have you ever wanted to say, banking system, is there really a shadow system? No. See, I asked the shadow. It doesn't exist. All right, here we go. It says right here, an apology letter. Oh, that's sweet. From one of China's largest shadow banks is giving a worrying sign to the country's long-running real estate crisis could now spread to its financial system. Just so you know, as this crash gets bigger and bigger and more of our family and friends that told us we were all idiots gets to know this, I'm just going to get more sarcastic. It's just in my nature. It was like really serious. Things are serious. Let's get ready. And we get a bunch of people ready and it's like, okay, let's go buy all their stuff. Let me know down below. I mean, I'm not the only one. Let me know if you're planning on buying everyone's stuff. Because you can only warn so many people. And I think we've got there. I think YouTube made it very clear to the ninja in September, you got big enough, okay? The group's big enough. We're not letting anybody else in. Even if you share it. Don't even subscribe. It's even crazier. I have people that have been subscribers to this channel since like day one, and we're like friends, and they like come like, dude, look, I've been unsubscribed, and all they do, and you know what the craziest thing? One guy showed me this here today. He goes, they still light up the box that says subscribed. They took off the D. He goes, I swear, if you guys go look at your phones right now, you'll go, what do you mean I've been unsubscribed? That's how they do it. That's just how they do it. And I just had one of my assistants, I can't say who it is, somebody told me to go make sure I tell everyone that. They still light it up like you've been subscribed. They took the D off. They're being tricky. So I guess at this point, it just doesn't really matter what I say. We're just gonna have a lot of fun. But that's how they're stopping the growth. And hey, whatever. I'm here just to help one person. Now let's go back to this China thing because it is a big deal. In a letter to investors sent Wednesday, the firm revealed that it had tangible assets worth about 200 billion yuan or $28 billion. Reported by Reuters. That would lead to a potential shortfall of up to 37 billion. That's a lot. So they owe a lot more than they will have. Zhongxing Enterprise Group is a financial conglomerate in China's shadow banking sector, which operates outside of the formal regulations that govern traditional banks. How do you like that? Yeah, we got all these rules for you, but not those guys over there. What do? Don't worry about them. Do they follow our rules? Nope. Why are they here? To make sure you don't crash, or just don't worry about them. Oh, this doesn't sound good. That's what's going on. But just shadow banking system in America. How do you like that?
Those financial conditions tend to work with wealthier households and corporate clients by offering loans and investing in real estate, commodities, and bonds. Shadow banks offer higher returns than large state banks that traditionally have low insurance rates. Well, that's weird. So they're loaning to all the rich people and they're in trouble. Weird. Signs of trouble at the shadow bank first emerged in August when affiliated companies missed payments on several high-yield investments. In this letter, Zhang Jingyi reportedly blamed the death of its founder in 2021 and the subsequent departure of senior executives for issues with the company's internal management. Hey, he's dead. We don't know what we're doing. That's solid work. A potential default. It's like nobody knows how to do anything around here. The owner dies and we're all screwed. I mean, people are blaming the craziest things right now for their collapse. Wait a minute. There's no way there's like 1,100 people on here right now. YouTube only told me only 1,000 people will be allowed on here. All right. Something's up. Like I said, it's the craziest thing. They highlighted all your names, said subscribed, and they took the D off. If you don't mind hitting the button, let's piss off YouTube. Whatever. Just, all right. Even in the midst of a property crisis, Zhang Jingyi, through its affiliates, has offered loans to troubled developers and brought up assets from companies like embattled property firm Evergrande. So let me explain what's going on there and be a little serious. China's, and it's true, I was the first person to talk about the coming CMBS crisis in China, and it started. I was able to hit it like 4 months before it came out, the Evergrande story, and there's a handful of you who remember that. And another YouTuber picked it up, a buddy of mine, Jack. He started. He had me on his channel a while back, like when it was going down. He goes, "Dude, you warned everyone about this." Well, it's pretty easy to see, because commercial mortgage-backed securities were set to implode a couple of years ago. Now they're imploding not only in China, but over here. Now what happens is the shadow banking industry, they have different sets of rules. And what happens is the government goes to them and says, all right, you've got all this rich people money. We want you to help bail these guys out. And they said, okay, no problem, we'll do it. And we're going to give you a good piece of the pie. You're gonna clean house. These idiots over here that are being regulated, they screwed up, so you're going to come in, you're going to clean house. And since you're shadow banking, we're not going to, no one's going to see it. Well, here's the problem. Those assets were so toxic, and it's happening right now in America. You're going to see this come out later in probably about third or fourth quarter of 2024, that America's shadow banking industry, which I believe a lot of it has involving your and my 401k money and retirement money, pension funds. They are now going, oh crap, we're insolvent. Well, like the assets were that bad. And commercial mortgage-backed securities around the world are imploding so bad. And the first sign is what just happened with the FDIC sale of Signature Bank. And we even have proof. There's people that reported, they're like, we were all waiting to see how much those assets sold, because then what happens is economists and CFOs of companies, banks and stuff know then how to value their assets, because they're all imploding. They're all non-performing. And so our banks right now in America are going to the government and begging for money. And it's not the government that's bailing them out right now, it's the Federal Reserve. They're going to go ask the government for money next, which the government's not going to be able to bail them out. That's going to happen this next year. So, and I'm just trying to break this down real simply for you. And it's very serious, actually, but it's actually really exciting too, because if you know this, you could take advantage of this and make a lot of money, right? Because what you're going to see in the real estate market is going to be amazing. Over the next three years, it'll probably take like full 5 years to hit bottom and then start cycling back up. But the shadow banking system has been trying to help and buy up these assets for pennies on the dollar. Well, when Signature Bank, FDIC just closed the sale of their a certain tranche of CMBS. They sold for 65 cents or 69 cents on the dollar. And there was actually multiple bidders in the 80-cent range. So you have to understand those banks that were awarded the CMBS are tied to the government, and it's set up in a way that those will be taken care of or hidden. There's only so much hiding that can happen until the wave becomes so huge of defaults that they go to the government, and then everyone sees it, all your family and friends, and they still won't get a concept of it, and then the layoffs start even more than what we've seen this last year. Unemployment numbers, you're being straight up lied to right now. The CPI numbers, the inflation numbers that the government tracks, you're 100% being lied to. They're telling you that inflation went down in the month of October because the cost of furniture went down and electronics like TVs went down. Oh, and your insurance went down. Well, let me tell you this, the insurance is a straight up lie. They just changed the metric on how they track it. And then the reason why furniture went down and electronics like TVs went down is because a lot of Americans had to start paying back their student loans. Look, we're in an epic crash. You can either decide to do something about it or not. I don't care. It's not going to stop the fact that I'm going to buy people stuff. But at the same time, every day I'm going to get out there and warn them and give them all the tools they can that they need to survive and thrive. This isn't a matter of, this is national security. Our wealth is national security. You need to be ready for this. Nancy, thank you so much for being such an awesome supporter of the channel. Thank you for the super chat. If you guys wouldn't mind checking that little thing that says subscribed, see if they took the D off. And if it only says subscribe, if you wouldn't mind tapping it again. Someone really cool at Google contacted me and let me know about it. See, there's even people on that side that know the truth and are trying to do something about it. I praise God for people like you and like them that are doing something right now to prepare for this. We're not going to sit down and take this lightly. I might joke around, and that's how the channel's been. And there's going to be some big changes in January. But I have to tell you, I'm just stoked to know you guys. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. The Economic Ninja is out.